growing up, I think I just excelled in science. And so my teachers would naturally lead me into science. And even the high school that I attended as a science student, you had no opportunity to do other art subjects. So it was all science. And then at the university, I pursued biochemistry for my first degree. So it was towards the end of the program that I discovered molecular biology, and I knew that I wanted to pursue an area in molecular biology. But in between, as a student, I would be attached to this food and beverage company in Ghana to do food biochemistry. And whilst there, after about a week in the lab, I could just go through the whole process, the quality control process of the company, and the same for the production. And I knew that I was not cut for routine work. So I ended up at this company taking up a project that looked at the biological and chemical oxygen demand of the company. That is basically looking at how much pollution this company is contributing to the country. So you find me at the chimney or in the drains taking samples. I installed this machine and went through the whole project and wrote a report for them. And that was the basis of the company's contribution to the environmental management of the country. So when I finished my first degree, I went back to this company, hoping this time to be employed as a result of my hard work. And the quality assurance manager told me, no, I'm not employing you here. I think you are cut for research. So I'll give you a recommendation letter. Go and pursue a master's or whatever research you're interested in. I'll support it. So in my disappointment, I decided, well, let me continue pursuing the research. And I ended up at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. And by divine intervention or whatever, I was taken to a molecular biology lab. And that was the beginning of my career in molecular epidemiology, or now genomic epidemiology of malaria, and extending to other disease areas as well. Oh, fortunately, in my family, you just look at your strength. And my mom depended a lot on the teachers. So it's what my teachers said that she would listen to. And I wasn't the only one doing well in science. I have a sister who is a doctor. So they know that in this family, they excel in science. And it was easy to just continue in that area. That challenges in one's career as a woman, it cuts across every profession, not necessarily being a scientist. However, we know that traditionally science has been cut for boys. So as a girl pursuing science, you've always had these competitions with the boys. Why you are too tough, you are rubbing shoulders with boys. So I've had this at the back of my mind. And I know that these rear up their faces subtly, but knowing that what I have done to overcome this challenge is that I try very hard to excel in my area of interest. And currently where I work at Noguchi, I decided to carve my own niche, a niche that was unfamiliar to most people, whether male or female. And therefore, now I am called upon, not because I'm a female, but because of my expertise in an area that is still very unfamiliar to many people. So that is how I overcame that challenge. But specific challenges as a woman, I don't think I've had that specific problem as a woman. No. Yeah, to be very honest with you, I don't think I've even gotten the balance very well. Yeah. My I'm married with a son, and I see that my husband has sacrificed so much. I have even pursued more my career than taking care of the family. So it is a difficult thing. And as you get higher up the ladder as a scientist, you must work with people to get that balance. You cannot do everything. So for me, my strength has been my husband. And he has been there in my absence. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. No. So I've had to depend on my husband to carry the family and still pursue my career. So I personally believe that to be successful in any career, not necessarily science, you must have a vision. You must perceive yourself exactly where you think you want to see yourself in the next 20 years and work towards it. Science is no exception. Most women in the corporate world come up with a strategic plan for their lives and all that. As scientists, we must also have a strategic plan. I want to be here in the next 20 years. And so you set medium, long-term, and short-term objectives to meet this ultimate objective of yours. So as a scientist or somebody who is at a crossroads thinking about leaving or not, the first question I'll ask is, do you know where you want to be in the next 20 years? If you don't, whether you remain in science or not, you will still struggle. Okay. So set your objectives and then start working towards it. Now, the working towards it may mean taking training courses here and there, attending various meetings, talking to people in that area. It is not a smooth road, but wherever you find yourself, you ask yourself whether this will ultimately help me develop my final objective. Okay, so maybe at this moment you see yourself as stagnating, but whatever you're doing at this moment, do you think it will help you to get to your final objective? Now, this objective needs a lot of diligence, hard work, perseverance. Otherwise, whether it is leaving science or remaining in science, you will not be happy. Okay. And one thing too that I want us to be clear on is the fact that not all of us are going to be lead scientists with so much money and doing a lot of research. Or not all of us are going to discover or make major discoveries in our career. What you must understand is that it is a career ladder, okay? Think about it as steps on a ladder. Every step is important. Every step is important. Some of us will be lecturers, some of us will be running small research groups, some may be doing science in industry. But for me, to measure your success is to look at how much of an impact I am making at whatever level I am on this ladder, okay? Personally, I see success as the number of people I have mentored and they doing even better than me, okay? So we shouldn't think that if we are not like another person, then it means we have not succeeded in our area. You could be in the lab as a lab manager and be so happy about how you are imparting your knowledge to the people who come to the lab. To me, that is success. Okay, so we should, whether you are going to remain in science or you're going to look elsewhere, you have to have these at the back of your mind, that success is not measured by how much money you have or whether you are at par with somebody else, but it is the impact you make wherever you find yourself. If we do not get these right, we may move from place to place and not get the satisfaction we need.